Welcome to the Brown Bricks podcast. The most amount of fun you can have while listening to a podcast.
It feels like it's been a while.
It's been a while for me.
It's definitely been a while for you.
Definitely been a while for you. Phineas is back from
your
being
favorite
in the hospital.
Favorite member.
Was that what?
Back from hell.
Was that the joke?
He went to hell
I went
to
to hell.
defeat
He went to
Satan,
hell. That's
and now
cool.
he's back.
Did he do it?
Yeah, I
Or did he
did.
get out? How powerful?
But then
was he?
there's a curse on whoever bests Satan in any duel is bound to become him.
Forced to become
So-
a
so
podcaster.
you're-
And I
So-
can feel the evil taking over my soul.
He has to. What does the podcast do for you?
to Brown Bricks podcast, most hellish podcast.
Oh,
evil
the most
podcast.
amount, the most amount of hell you can have while listening to a podcast.
we're gonna ramp it up to Halloween.
Ooh, yeah.
got a
Ooh,
couple-
let's go all out on the Halloween
Yeah.
episode this time. Let's
What are we
make-
gonna do? Dress up and do a podcast?
We do a visual bit.
We can do some of our favorite past horror bits. We can do like 2-sentence horror subreddit.
yeah,
we can all
those are
look at
good.
the worst ones. We can write our own shitty horror stories. How
Oh,
about
we can
that
mix
as
it
an
in
idea?
and then like say, oh, that was
If you
actually
want
written
to.
by me.
I think it'd be fun.
That would be a
That'd be
fun
kind
time.
of fun, actually. Yeah.
Back to the topics era of Brown Bricks podcast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, less of a topic, more just a general theming.
Just
you
a
know?
Yeah, of
horror
course.
theme.
I like that. That's
Talk
also
about some of our favorite spooky monsters, ghouls,
Scary,
goblins.
yeah, it's goblins. It's always goblins.
It's goblins, but
For-
ghouls are cool too.
Ghouls are kind of
But let's
are
not
less cool.
spoil it. Let's
Yeah.
not get into that.
Okay,
now.
yeah. That's
top
got-
three.
that's gotta-
Top three monsters. Number
That's
one,
gotta wait.
goblins. Sorry, that's
Okay.
not a spoiler. But what? So number two and number three, you're just gonna have
Top
to keep.
three-
writing
Stop,
top
we
them
weren't
down.
going to talk about it
Top
until it comes
three-
time.
Top 3 G
We're wasting
monsters.
this.
Number 3, gargoyles. Number 2, ghouls. Number 1, you may have guessed it. It's goblins.
Big G goblin.
I've been watching a lot of those shitty Watch Mojo things because the new Dragon Ball movie came out,
Yeah.
and they're like, Gohan's new transformation explained, and then they just don't say anything that's not in the movie, and I'm like, well, this is pointless. But they're all TikToks now. Like before, they tried to bring him out to 10 minutes, and now they're just like TikToks that you click on, and they're like, Dragon Ball made a lot of money, and I'm like, that doesn't explain why he has white hair. Is it Ultra Instinct?
Did you not know why
well,
he has white hair?
no one does.
No one knows. It's
Is this
It's
new
Gohan
movie
Beast.
continuing the canon?
It is. I assume he has Ultra Instinct, but he didn't take it like an Ultra Instinct. He's not like dodging and stuff. He just took a punch really hard and then didn't move and said, "Is that the best you got?"
That's not Ultra Instinct.
Yeah, Cell Max
yeah, that
punched
sounds
him.
like the opposite of Ultra
Yeah, I
Instinct.
know. He just stood there. It's called Gohan Beast, apparently.
Okay, well that's stupid.
Gohan.
Yeah,
Beast.
the
That's
good movie
fucking
though. I
dumb.
brought Jack, a regular on this podcast, to the movie because I was like, if there's any anime movie that's not going to require any
I
backstory,
thought he couldn't make it.
Yeah, he said
he couldn't that one time, and then we went on Saturday.
okay.
Yeah.
It looks. I've heard it's about Piccolo, and that sounds cool to me because Piccolo seems to be one of my favorite Dragon Ball characters. Considering I've never seen Dragon Ball,
Piccolo is the only like unique one.
I like how Piccolo looks. Also, Vegeta's probably my favorite Dragon Ball character.
Vegeta's
but I've heard he's not in this movie.
He's kind of in this movie. They like flash to the reason why they're not showing up. Basically, it's Dragon Ball.
Well, everybody knows this is this Dragon Ball movie is all to promote the new Fortnite event where they
that's
add
true.
all the Dragon Ball characters in there.
It's to promote that.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
like we got to make a whole movie.
They gotta make a
Dragon
movie
Ball.
to
That
promote
reminds
Fortnite.
me of a good find Liam had recently, where it's this channel where a guy does hypothetical situations dialogue between an anime character and Jesus, and
That
what it'd be like
sounds
if they met.
That sounds so.
And there's
fucking
one
cool.
about Vegeta meeting Jesus. There's a good one about Jiraiya meeting Jesus, and because they're both like wise people, like Vegeta and Jesus, they don't get along.
no, they wouldn't.
Jesus gives him some
He's
biblical
the
learning.
King of Kings
Right.
versus the Prince of
and,
Science.
and like I like that he doesn't go like, and then Jesus is the most powerful anime guy. It's just like, no, Jesus is just being Jesus. He's saying wise shit. He's being a pacifist.
Yeah, he's like the same. Like this guy could do it for every single. Like this guy could do Vegeta meeting Jiraiya in the same vein that he does Jesus meeting.
And the Jiraiya one, Jiraiya's like, I think my final book will be about you, Jesus. He's like, I think this may be your most important and final book too, Jiraiya. Here, why don't I read a passage from my own? And he goes, and then Jesus pulls out an unmarked book, a plain-looking book, and begins to read from it, and then read some Bible quote. Jesus goes, I hope you enjoyed that, Jiraiya. This is the Bible.
The Bible.
What's this? How many views does this have?
It's like a couple thousand.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty clearly like he has a lot of other shit on his channel too.
It's
It's
clearly
clearly
like an anime.
like he made some TikToks of him doing hypothetical Jesus meeting anime people, and they kind of blew up. Like he has Deku, he has Goku.
Mm-hmm.
Good. I like that. I
Yes,
really
Naruto,
like that.
obviously.
I like that.
Meets Bakugo in the afterlife.
Oh, he's dead.
'Cause he's
Is he
fucking
in hell?
dead. He died.
Is he in hell?
He died in the most recent chapter.
I did.
No, but I want to make a New Testament where it's
Spoilers.
like same style.
No one cares about my
Same-
book.
Same style as the New Testament, right? Like I'm not trying to make an anime thing. I'm trying to make it a Bible thing with anime people in it.
I like
and
that.
like classic Jesus stories, lessons. Like fucking, Jackson had an example of like, what was your Lazarus thing?
Oh, well, Jesus gets all the Dragon Balls.
Yeah.
And brings
Oh, yeah.
back Lazarus from the tomb.
That'd be funny.
Yeah.
And he's like, and you can't tell anyone about this because they'll wish for
It's
immortality.
the power of God through the Dragon Balls.
Obviously, he can meet like 7 Deadly Sins from Full Metal Alchemist, not the
Oh,
7
yeah.
Deadly Sins.
And he's like,
anime,
no,
'cause
you're not the real
that's-
7
That
Deadly
anime is not
Sins.
good enough
Anything
to be
to-
in the new Bible.
It is also really doesn't have anything to do with sins.
We're
I feel like.
gatekeeping. He's like, what about the other 7 deadly sins? And he's like, they're not cool enough. That story kind of sucks.
That's-
There's
Stories
too
kind of lame.
many people named after the 7 Deadly Sins in anime, so we just picked the best one.
We just
one
picked the
that's
one at the
cool.
top of
We
Mount.
just picked the one with the coolest characters.
I don't know. I like the idea that you use that and it's like fan fiction. But do the characters have like predispositions to their old stories? Like Deku's like, oh, I remember it's like this time I was in My Hero Academia doing this. Or is it just Deku, but he doesn't remember anything and he's basically
It's
just John?
Deku in
I mean,
ancient Hebrew times, and
he
he's
alludes, but we don't want anyone reading it to feel like they had to have read My Hero Academia to understand it, right?
I love
so he
those-
doesn't go like, this is like the time, because then people are like, huh, what?
Those little Bible.
he just alludes to it, right? He's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, he's like Jesus talking about Satan. He's like,
I've met some bad
Yeah, and
guys
he's
in my
like-
time.
I've had to deal with my own challenges. Jesus,
Jesus. I know what it's like to feel like you have no power, and
That's-
then come into great power.
And he's like, I wonder. We don't have to talk about that.
Have it passed down
Yeah.
to you.
I know, but
Jesus says like something about like, it's like in something almighty, and Deck goes, All Might too.
Almighty.
my God is greater. I think that would be funny if that like
Could
in the
God
passages.
be one for all or all for
Yes,
one?
probably.
I don't know.
I mean, in the manga, it could be some bullshit like that for sure.
Yeah. I think no, but it's my big thing where I like the idea that you have like little things that are like passages, because in some Bible things they'll be like, this is a reference to this like extra biblical thing that they were
Like
doing.
a footnote.
Yeah, and so they'll have a footnote of like, this is a reference to episode 32 of My Hero Academia in the Bible.
The Giga Bible. There's like the Action Bible, which is like a comic.
Yeah,
of
I've
the
seen
Bible. I've read it. I've read it.
The big three
But
is
it's-
kind of like the Holy Trinity. Let's map
That's true.
the main characters of the
Bleach is
big
Holy
three
Spirit.
to the Holy
Bleach
Trinity.
is Holy Spirit
Well,
because
yeah.
it's about like
Yeah.
spirits and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Luffy is
One Piece.
Jesus.
I'd say God the Father and Holy.
The other one's Naruto.
Who between
Naruto's
Luffy,
the son.
Between Luffy and Naruto, who is the bigger sacrifice they make?
Luffy's given up years
probably-
of his life, right?
Yeah, that doesn't count. Luffy's not gonna die.
No, but he might. He might eventually.
Naruto eventually becomes a father, which I think is important for him being the father.
I don't
in this
know.
trilogy.
But I think
That's
Luffy
true.
actually becomes a real ass god.
Yeah, but Luffy isn't a dad.
He's the dad to all the Straw Hats.
Honestly,
No, he's not.
Naruto and Luffy both track more easily to the Jesus thing, so deciding who's God is difficult.
But Holy Spirit's definitely Bleach.
Mr. Bleach, man.
Ichigo is the Holy Spirit. We agree on that. And this
We're all up on that. Yeah.
We're all on board for that.
No, but I'm wondering, is there somebody's probably made a manga Bible, right?
Probably.
Oh yeah, no, I think that's explicitly something that my mom was like, "You should read this.
You should get into that.
I mean,
Let's
there's
see.
Christians in Japan, so they've definitely made like some Bible stories into manga for them.
Yeah.
For dumb little kids, dumb little Japanese kiddies.
Oh yeah, stupid idiots.
Learn.
Oh
about
yeah, there's like
Jesus.
8
If you're
different manga
listening to this
Bibles.
and you're a Japanese child,
Fucking
do
suck.
Harikiri
Kirigiri.
or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
That.
Yeah, that's a good one. There's like 8 different manga Bibles.
Manga Bible. Manga Bible.
This one looks kind of cool.
That does look like a little badass.
It
It looks
does look-
like the action Bible, to be honest. I'm not sure if that's manga.
Yeah, that
style.
looks solid.
Yeah. Well, there's a couple that are like explicitly called the manga Bible,
Oh.
and they look like how to draw anime
Yeah.
levels of shit.
Well, yeah, you know who is
Manga
who's
Messiah,
doing
that's what
these.
it's called.
Ooh,
That's a better title than the manga Bible.
I agree.
I like that.
Also, I don't like the idea of a manga with manga in its title.
Yeah,
Just call it the,
The
Messiah.
comic
Just call
Bible.
it the Messiah and be a
the
manga.
One Piece manga.
That's what I think.
the One Piece manga. Period.
That has more impact. For
The
me.
Messiah.
Yeah, just call it the Messiah or something like that, and take manga.
But then how am I
Yeah.
supposed to look it up online and figure out that it's
That's true.
comic version or manga
Yeah.
version of the Bible?
That's true. But that's what's so impressive about it. It's not even trying to get you.
Yeah, it's just
just
kind of
cool.
inherently
Yeah.
spiritual
It's
and
like
manga.
when someone gets,
It's published in like
it's
fucking
it's how
Shonen Jump or
Compound
something.
became so big, even though they had a title that should have made it impossible
Yeah.
for them to get like sponsors and shit.
And it didn't help.
it's impressive.
There was no point in
They
which
only made
the
it harder.
name. Yeah, there was no point at which the name Come Town actually helped them in their journey.
We do SEO in our titles, and
I don't think it helps, to be honest.
we're a
I think
little
it hurts.
shameless about it.
Yeah, no. I mean, we do SEO in our
We
description.
do SEO,
surely.
but it's canceled out by all the awful things we have to put in the
when you
Oh,
have
just-
when you have Fortnite Among Us next to child porn on the description, most of the time they're like, "That's not."
Yeah.
You're
not
not,
gonna recommend-
allowed to watch this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but I did. There's a couple of. I'm finding a bunch of smaller podcasts, and I've been emailing them like, "Hey, we should collab," just so they listen to one episode. Just so,
You get
Baiting
neighbors.
them.
Just so they listen.
yeah, so
baiting
they
them
get
into-
one. So we get one listen in there.
Hell yeah.
But most of them are like, because I've been listening to almost exclusively like girly podcasts where it's just a bunch of like their friends talking about like their life and men, mostly men. Women don't talk about anything but men. That's what I've realized
True.
from this
Jack,
guy.
can you do the one Tyler
So true.
fart sound thing real quick? And I promise I have a reason why. I was talking to Liam about trying to get into contact with that guy
Really?
about being on our pod. What do you guys think about that?
Oh, I like that. I like this is the same thing as Murray Reacts.
fine,
I have a
but-
feeling Jackson's not going to like it as much.
I have a feeling
He's
we got
not-
a better chance on Tyler.
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He seems to
You
just be
know?
like a content machine. Like,
He is.
yeah.
He really is.
He just like spits out.
He
So,
just
like,
he puts out content way more regularly than I could ever imagine.
what would we talk to him about?
we
just
would
media.
ask him about some of our favorite videos.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Ask him some basics like why'd you get into this? What do you like about it?
Yeah. Ask him like a real celebrity, featuring him
Yeah.
like Tyler.
You know
Dunbar.
what would be hard is that it's going to take him a long time to respond to us because he talks real slow.
This is true.
Yeah, that's gonna be rough.
That'd be rough.
Yeah. We could workshop a video idea with him on the pod.
That would be good. Let's see. So Rugrats, they're in space, and he's
Well-
there too. Thoughts?
Yeah, that's honestly.
I am better than
that's-
you.
I mean, really, there's not a lot you can say that wouldn't work as a Tyler Dunbar video. Like,
Just talking about any
my
kind
favorite
of media.
Tyler Dunbar video is the one where he has milk-bone dog treats and he's eating them and then he's going ugh, and then he
keeps eating them.
he starts laughing because he's laughing at the fact that he's eating dog treats and that
And
they're
then he
gross,
keeps eating
and then he
them.
just keeps eating more.
That's cool.
And then goes ugh and laughs again.
Yeah.
It's just a cycle.
It's like me when I'm high, or like you forget what you're doing every like 5 seconds. But that's his whole life.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
If I could entertain myself that often, I would be a much happier person.
Yeah, I mean, that's
I feel like
one
you'd get a lot
thing
less
I definitely
done.
want to ask him.
What do I need to get done?
Are you happy?
I'd probably say yeah.
I'd want some existential questions for Tyler Dunbar.
Like, you know, I really want to. I want to work up figuring out like what's his day to day look like besides the videos.
I want to go be friends with Tyler
Yeah,
Dunbar.
he's just fucking eating like Fruit Loops and sitting around in his house, just chilling most of the
man.
time. I think. I don't
But
think
see,
he might have a
we
job.
don't know that.
I want to
though.
know even stuff like, is it Fruit Loops or is it Lucky Charms? I want to know everything.
Yeah.
He's eating them dry. You know that.
I want to, the guy who like
Maybe.
tried to model his diet specifically after Suisei,
Suisei,
yeah, so he could like produce pee that tastes exactly like hers. It's a VTuber thing.
Okay.
But he did that. I think you want to do the same so you can produce, just your body will become like Tyler Dunbar's, so you can find his exact diet.
Well,
You
he
gotta-
filmed
you gotta
a
eat
lot
some
of his
milk bones.
TikToks on the toilet. Like he's just
Cool
sitting
move.
there using like different filters.
Like
and,
you can film a
and
TikTok on
shit.
the toilet, but you don't know how the shit's gonna feel. You're gonna be like, he probably had a different feeling shit.
Like, see, that's, there is a part of Tyler where like it's not about like are people gonna like, what's gonna perform well, right? He's like, oh, this is a platform where anyone can post anything.
Just gonna put.
Yeah,
I
he's
got
really the
free
Wild
time
West of
and
the
I like
internet.
this TikTok filter. I'm just gonna throw it up there.
Yeah, he's
And
really the Wild West.
There's a
He's on the
purity
grind.
to that. There is a purity to that. I mean, I don't even know that's about the grind for him, right?
No.
No, I
If
don't think it's about the grind, but he's like on that like subconscious, just an auteur.
Yeah, he's a Sigma
doing what
grind
he
set
knows.
male.
That's how I would
regardless.
put it.
Like he doesn't even.
Like-
he's not doing this to like become famous. He's
Yeah,
doing this because he
success
has
is
to.
truly not important to me, way, right? Like we do this and we don't really care that we succeed. We just do it for
I think
fun. But
that's
there's
what-
part of us that like we watch the views.
Yeah, yeah.
We think about what to put in description, right? There's part of us that wants to approach it that way. And Tyler, I think, is really pure.
Yeah,
in
and the fact that he
regard.
doesn't. I think that's why I want him on
He
the
just
pod,
talks
so
about
we
what he
can
wants
kind
to
of
talk
like
about.
get exactly what we're missing.
Yeah. It's Tyler Dunbar. Look him up on
Tyler
YouTube.
Dunbar.
He's
show.
awesome.
Look him up
Yeah.
on TikTok. You'll find him.
Oh, he's
find him,
there.
still
He's
there.
there
You'll
doing
find
this.
him. Yeah, that's
Exactly
him.
that. It's pretty cool if I do
He
say
has
so
a
myself.
few pretty good fart videos.
Yeah,
That's
he's got a
that's my
couple.
favorite material from that, and like the one video of him just eating in like a diner or something.
That's a-
just recording himself eating.
I don't recall that. I really like his Taco Bell Karen skit.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Or no, it was Subway. And she wants
Yeah.
tacos. And he's like, ma'am, this isn't a Taco Bell.
This is Subway.
This is a Subway.
awesome.
Says it very slow.
and he
like
plays
that.
both characters.
He
you're
does
saying.
play both characters.
Well, as any good TikTok skit will go, you play
Yeah.
all the characters.
I mean, you played the
it's-
woman as,
that's
like-
just kind of, what's the saying about mediums? Like the medium
Is the message.
Is the message, yeah. And I think, in TikTok, the medium is just, it's going to be just you.
Tyler
It should just
Dunbar
be
pretending to be a Karen with a towel on his head to pretend to be a woman. Why do TikTok creators? That's what they do as default. When they want to pretend to be a woman, they put a towel on their head.
Or, I don't know, long hair. Pretend it's long hair.
It doesn't look
think-
like hair though.
It doesn't look like hair, but it.
At this
I don't know,
point,
it's-
it's just shorthand, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like a own little language.
They're
that they come up
pretending
with.
to wear a hijab to pretend to be a Muslim.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
All these fucking Karen Muslim women out here wearing their fucking hijabs.
Yeah.
I just want the main guy who did that to be like,
Why don't you just let me do me job,
Yeah.
Miss Hijab?
Yeah.
do a me job, which is where you suck my dick.
Yeah, that's what that
Yeah.
was called.
A media.
Yeah,
That's any time you get off. Is it? Like, shouldn't that be masturbating?
Yeah. I
That's
guess
when
it
I
would
suck
be
my own cock. It's a me
It's a
job.
me
it's a
job.
me job. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm doing it for me.
Bending down.
That's when you have your own little
Yeah.
fleshlight.
I
or
need to get
whatever.
limber enough to suck my own dick. I think that seems like a fun
I think
little
You just
project.
got to take out the ribs, right?
Yeah,
Like,
the ribs are just in the way. Like physically, I think it's kind of impossible.
I mean, I think you can make yourself limber enough to do it, but
I think you
it's like a
can.
process.
but I think you're probably hyperextending at that point.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. If you took out 2 ribs, what would that do, like to you physically?
Probably not Not
You can do that.
terribly much. I mean, feel where your ribs
You'd be a
are.
little more vulnerable. You'd be your lungs would be a little more less protected.
Yeah, you feel that bottom rib. You don't really need all that.
Yeah, that's kind of vestigial. It's almost like it was put there.
It's because you're feeling the bottom rib. If that rib wasn't there, what would you be poking at right
yeah,
now?
exactly.
The next rib up.
Well, no, your
No, but
hand
there'd
is
be
going the
something
same
in there.
spot.
I can.
It's that rib is in front of something.
I'm
Yeah.
about to fit my hand under my rib.
He's not
not doing
trying
it.
that
He's
hard.
not.
Kind
not
of trying.
really doing it.
I'm kind of trying.
It's better to go in the middle because it comes up a bit.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
that's where your solar plexus
Either
is. So
way,
that'll hurt.
the fact that
If you go like right under your sternum,
the fact that it's hard to
poking your
do
solar
makes me
plexus.
think that there's something there that like doesn't want to be poked at.
I bet there's a
Like, I
reason we
mean-
got them bones right there.
There's definitely a fucking reason.
What does his hand do?
I also
for
like
me?
what was the rumor? Like Marilyn Manson took out his rib.
That was the guy.
And it's
the
like,
rumor was about,
why? You can get your dick sucked. You're famous. Why do you need to suck your own
It's
dick?
not
Because
about
he's a
that at
freak,
that point.
dude.
It's not about that.
It's just
because
because he's a freaky guy, so everyone's like,
Yeah, I like the
making
idea.
freak
You're not
stories about him.
like getting your dick sucked by someone else is always going to be so much easier than getting it
I
like
think
a
the
Getting it
rib
thing
removed.
is like a playground rumor that had been passed down.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely
for a
not
while,
real.
right? Like it didn't start as Marilyn Manson; it started some other celebrity, and just by the time it was our time, we were hearing as
yeah,
Marilyn
for sure.
Manson.
It started as Marilyn Monroe. She removed her rib to get
Yeah.
to
To
suck
Let
her own
herself
pussy.
out, yeah.
Yeah,
To suck her own pussy.
Yeah, I heard she was really gross when she was
JFK
alive.
made her do it.
She was gross.
Yeah, she was like a total slob of a person.
Yeah, apparently her apartment was just disgusting.
JFK was like, "I'm making an
She'd like-
executive order. I want to see you eat your own pussy." I know I'm doing that place. That's not
Executive
JFK.
order to eat your own pussy.
That's not JFK
Yeah.
at all.
No, I don't really know how JFK talks.
I like
Could the
your
president
funny
do
words,
that?
Magic Man.
Could the president like
Make an executive order that someone had to eat their own
Marilyn
pussy.
Monroe.
eat like or suck their own dick?
No, he definitely can't.
Why
you know
not?
that.
Actually, Sweaty, he can. He's
can't-
the
yeah,
president.
Look, I know, fucking our Trumpy boy, he went hard on those executive orders, but like, yeah, they're not like just you're allowed to tell people to do whatever you want to happen.
Executive order. He's like, but
Unless
like,
there's
I want an
war.
executive
There's
order where I
rules
get to
about
put
that shit.
I get to put soldiers in people's houses, and they're like, you explicitly can't do that. And he's like, well, someone's gonna have to suck their own dick then. You get to choose one of these.
one or the other.
I do like
Yeah.
how they just.
I mean, he could probably get away with it if it was like in a private room.
If it was like one person.
I'd be making jokey executive orders all the time if I was president.
Yeah.
Hug up with a lady, it's like, I'm having an executive order for you to fucking take your clothes off.
Top
right
up,
now.
top down. Or, there's a
Have you guys seen the trailer for the new Breitbart movie that's being made? That's supposed to be about fucking Biden's kid, well, Hunter Biden.
yeah.
And
That'll
the
be
movie,
fun.
The movie's
looks
supposed to
like it's
make
gonna
him.
be so funny.
It looks like it's gonna be awesome. It makes him look so fucking cool. Hunter Biden already looks cool as shit because he's just doing fucking
Blow.
like heroin
And children.
fucking hookers, and, yeah.
and fucking children. That's a good part on
Yeah.
his laptop.
But
That's
the
my-
movie trailer is like, so it's supposed to make him look bad. It makes him look cool as shit.
yeah, it's-
Except the
it's
guy
gonna
that
be
they
like-
got to play him is way.
This is going to be
uglier
the
than he is.
Democrats' Wolf of Wall Street.
Well, it's
and
a
that they're-
Republican.
Well, no, in
movie.
that like it's made to be like this is admonishing this behavior, but then you
I
get a
don't
bunch
know
of
that you
frat
can
guys.
say Wolf of Wall
No,
Street
Wolf of
was,
Wall Street
though.
was
Wolf of Wall-
definitely glorified.
Wolf of Wall Street, like, I don't know, he'd probably deny it, but like he was trying to make it look cool and
I
fun.
think he really failed if he was trying to make it look like
For the average
these guys
person,
are bad.
I think he failed at that too, but I don't think he tried to do that. I think he probably put in some token like, "Oh, look at the bad shit he's doing." But I think mostly it's like, "Oh, this crazy story. Let's go wild, make it look
Yeah.
exciting." Right?
Yeah,
That's
that's,
the-
probably
I think
true.
with this Hunter Biden shit, they are trying to make him look bad, and it's
It's just failing.
gonna be fucking awesome.
Oh yeah, Gina Carano's in it.
Really,
Yeah.
Awesome.
She's
At least she's
playing
still
like
working.
some Secret Service agent. At least she's still working. No, fuck her. But there's a very funny part in the trailer where the guy who's playing Biden is like holding her from behind and like sniffing her, and she's like really into it. It's really fucking
She's
gross.
into getting sniffed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll show you the trailer.
he's a
after this. It's
powerful
fucking-
man. Would you not want to be
It's
sniffed
fucking
by
awesome.
Biden?
I think the name of the movie.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's do top 5 presidents you'd like to get sniffed by.
Number one, Trump.
Number one.
William Taft. William Howard Taft.
Number one, Abraham Lincoln. So I could ask him questions.
Ooh,
afterward.
yeah. Because he'd have to lean down.
Yeah, he'd have to go really.
He loves the boy
He'd probably
smell.
end up like sniffing my tit because he'd have to like lean down, and he'd like lean down past.
I don't want to go like too far back, like founding fathers. No, because like I think they're gonna smell bad.
That's true.
Wait,
yeah.
are we talking about ones we want to sniff, or
No, we want them to sniff us.
Yeah, they're sniffing.
But they're
us.
still got to get close. They're still like doing the Biden thing where they get close behind you.
Yeah, and then you
sniff
just
your
have
neck.
the stench of like slavery on your back when you.
Honestly, Biden, I don't think he will be a super bad sniffer. I think he'd be all right at it.
I mean,
He's been practicing
I think
for a
it's more about
while.
the touching. That's weird.
No,
I
the
think
sniffing's
both
equally
parts
as
are weird.
Well,
I think
yeah.
both parts are really
But
weird.
the touching
Yeah.
is definitely worse. I feel like
Yeah.
just leading down to like sniff
but
someone.
like,
It's weird.
I don't know. I don't.
But the grabbing all around the shoulders. And
I
stuff
don't.
Like that.
I will be
Yeah.
okay with it because I don't get gay vibes from Biden at all.
No,
right?
that's
Yeah.
true. You're
So
right.
if he was like coming up behind me and touch me and sniffing me, like it just kind of be like your grandpa.
This is a weird old man.
Pop,
just
pop.
like getting real close. And you're like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
right.
Corn
But
pop.
I think he'd be
Weird.
gentle. I think, but you know,
That one video of Biden standing around a pool with a bunch
Yeah.
of black kids, and he's talking about his days lifeguarding that pool.
Corn pop.
It's so fucking funny. It's just like an old man, and that man was about to become the president of the United
You know,
States.
That one
Wait,
was
would it wanna
like
sniff
back
me?
in like 2014. I feel like.
Yeah, I know. It's just funny to me.
I think Obama would do a bad sniff.
I think he'd do
I
a bad
think his heart wouldn't be in it.
Yeah.
No, definitely.
I think it'd be like, you don't want to. You don't.
Yeah, you don't
want
want to
me right now.
What about George Bush? He could do a good sniff.
W
George
or
Bush?
regular?
W.
Yeah, his would be more of like like Biden's like a grandpa sniff. He's like a fun uncle sniff.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
hey,
exactly.
the coked up
Ooh,
uncle.
you're smelling
He does
good.
a little sniff and he's like, "This isn't
Like
coke."
he kind of gives you some smacks on the shoulder, but like in a friendly way. Like doesn't hurt. It's like, hey,
and
you're
he's like
"Ah."
smacking you, and
And then you have a
smacking you
beer,
around.
and then you have a beer after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he sniffs you, but he sniffs you because he's like, you're not going to pick up any chicks with that kind of cologne.
And then he goes, sniff
Trying to
you
help you.
once, shame on you. Sniff you twice.
Sniff you
I ain't gonna
twice.
sniff you again.
Either way, I don't think.
That's true.
I'm not gonna-
I wouldn't sniff.
I'm
you
all
the third
sniffed out.
time.
I'm all sniffed out when it comes to you,
Yeah.
little boy.
What about Eisenhower? He's got a creepy old man sniff. I bet.
Yeah, no one Eisenhower. No, just getting a sniff from Eisenhower.
Yeah,
He's
I'm
got
gonna put a hard
he's got the
no
liver
on that.
spots
I think
on his
you
head.
said Taft, right?
FDR, he'd sniff like your crotch area because he couldn't stand up.
I think FDR would be good. I think
FDR,
would
you
do
could
it
sit in
well.
his lap and he'd.
Ooh, what's
let
the
you-
guy? Theodore Roosevelt. I want him
Ooh,
to
with his
sniff
big
me.
bushy
Teddy would be
mustache.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Teddy would be good
Yeah, that'd be tight.
because it would just be like he'd probably sniff to like just absorb the air, and then he'd start talking the moment that he got done. Like it would be like a powerful sniff.
What?
I don't know.
George Senior, bad sniff.
Bad.
Bad
Yeah,
sniff.
I agree. That guy's just old.
Yeah, too old.
No fun to be found in his body.
In his sniffer.
Nixon, really weird sniff.
Yeah,
Extremely weird.
Don't want to
Sniffing man.
What about Lyndon B. Johnson?
LBJ would be awful. He would do more than a sniff if he was given the opportunity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I am. I guess these things aren't really similar, but for some reason I'm connecting the dots, like him sniffing me, and then like those stories about him showing his dick to
Yeah.
everyone in the White
Yeah.
House and being like
For
really
sure.
aggressive about it.
Yeah, no, he's weirder.
Yeah, he's
Weirder
an odd,
one.
He's an odd duck. I'll tell you that much.
I don't want him to sniff me.
No.
Because then he's gonna
No.
like sniff me and be
No.
like, "Oh wow, I smell." He's gonna be like, "I smell better." I'm like, "I
Yeah.
didn't ask you to
He's
sniff
gonna be
me,
like
man."
a competition. Like I didn't want you to. I did.
Why don't you sniff this dick?
It's about not wanting to get sniffed, but then like being all right with it after it happens.
Yeah,
right? That's
like,
what you want from an old man presidential sniff.
You feel good about being sniffed, or
You
like
don't
you feel like
good about it, but you're like, oh, like I can live with that.
like some people would like pile on to it. Like there would be more after the sniff where they'd make you like feel bad after. It's like, but you sniffed me,
Yeah.
dude. It's like, come
you-
on.
All right,
gave
so
me
what?
this-
Who you guys good sniffers? Biden,
Taft, Roosevelt,
both Roosevelts.
FDR.
Well, that's one of the Roosevelts.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Roosevelt.
is he in the same family?
Yeah, they're like cousins.
I don't like that. I thought he was supposed to break up the banks. But he's siding with the fucking New Deal Nazi. That's what I call him.
Who are we talking
I call FDR the New Deal Nazi.
That's a
I
weird
know who you
thing.
meant by New Deal.
Yeah.
You picking up what I'm putting down?
Yeah,
I'm not. I'm picking it up. I'm not agreeing with it.
I understand who you meant, and that's as far as I'm going with picking it up.
It's a hot potato.
Yeah.
You can have it back.
Nah, I'm eating that potato.
Take a bite.
I don't know.
Take a big bite. You know what I'm upset about?
The
What?
student
New
loans
Deal.
getting canceled.
Yeah, of course, no. So we were on the big internet misogyny train before Andrew Tate, and somehow he's getting famous before we did.
We didn't go on as many podcasts.
Yeah, we haven't. Yeah, we got to start doing some guest spots.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like the wave is come and gone now that people
Yeah.
are turning on him.
All right, what's the next wave?
Next wave,
Next
we gotta
wave
hop
is
on.
next wave is not just like, oh, we own females.
Not just
it's
regular
like murder
misogyny.
of females.
Advanced-
which we already kind of started.
Advanced misogyny.
Yeah. It's like
Yeah, but that's the point when like now like it's kind of been pushed to the corners of the internet, right? Like right now you can see the shit on TikTok, but soon it's gonna go like they're gonna be on their own corners. They're gonna
Yeah,
have
They're
to
gonna
section
be
it
on
up,
their.
we want to be in the middle.
right? So you want to get like the women thing hit its crest where it's like just controversial enough that it could be monetized in the mainstream. What's
Yeah.
the next thing? What's the next thing to hate?
I'm saying
or
like-
love,
I'm saying like women.
but probably hate.
I'm saying like replacement of women with like on holes.
But no, I see you're going down that women route. That's
Yeah,
the
we
same
gotta-
wave.
we
You're
gotta
just
move
going
on to
further
a
down
new-
that wave.
a new type of
A new type of hate.
person.
Hatred or
Hatred or love of Tyler Dunbar.
Okay.
Tyler
How about-
Dunbar still gets the same
What
amount
about-
of views.
How about we aim lower on the totem pole? Just hatred of people with disabilities,
Yeah.
and really jump on that.
Yeah.
Being like, because as much as women really
yeah.
don't contribute
Yeah.
to society,
All right.
people with disabilities
For real
contribute even
fans
less.
here, we're about to go down a dark path. We don't mean
The real one.
Buckle up,
we don't
boys.
mean it, but we think this could be very lucrative. So just
We need to get this
like,
viral. We need
were
to start
here,
cutting
you guys,
TikToks. with
you
this.
guys were here. It's gonna get bad. Don't know that we don't.
I
don't
love the idea
condone.
that like we get canceled not because we say this like horrible shit where we're shitting on people with disabilities, but because people find this episode and they're like, see, they don't even mean it. Like those guys they're like half in it. They're just doing it
Yeah,
for the
they're just
fame.
grifting on the disability hate train. They don't actually hate people.
Yeah,
with
it's like
disabilities.
Andrew Tate. He means it. These
No,
guys.
that would be worse because then we would still be in trouble for like trying to profit off awful things, and then the people who want to hear those awful things would be like, "You guys don't even think that,"
you guys aren't even a part of
and
it.
then we're left with nothing. We
That's
try
true.
to play both sides and get just
burned.
absolutely fucked.
Well, okay. First, we need to do some actual criminal activities involving disabled people.
Oh yeah,
To
yeah, like how
establish
he
our
had
bad
that
Do we
weird
traffic
cam-
disabled people?
Well, trafficking.
To what
I
has
end?
been
don't
done.
think. I mean, I don't know. We can just get like
We gotta
Downs people do manual labor.
start pushing people with wheelchairs down like stairs.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Why?
Why?
I guess the
What do you mean,
haters.
why?
I mean, I'm when you're saying like doing something illegal, I would figure it's for money. Like
Yeah.
Andrew Tate had
okay.
it was getting money.
I mean,
from
he
those
also
girls in
beat that
town.
one chick, and that wasn't for money. That
no,
was
it
just,
was. It was
Yeah.
to assert dominance, so he could continue to
because
get
they were
money
doing the
from it.
camming stuff for him.
Yeah, but
pushing a guy down the stairs does nothing for us.
Okay.
All right,
We're
let's
not
open
a-
a moving company
I
and
like
then get a
this.
bunch of Downs people to do it.
and then not pay them,
well,
or pay them very little. Pay
Just-
them the cut that Tate was
pay him in
giving.
candy.
just like hang out, pay them in candy and like hang out with them and be like, wow, you guys are so cool. It's so cool.
Yeah.
You're always carrying those boxes.
And then
hey, let me
people-
get you a burger. Let me get a burger.
It seems like we're just making a moving company. Like, how do we monetize this as a hate?
because we get paid for the
and
moving.
then then the FCC raids our offices and finds out that we haven't been paying them.
Well, they go
and
to
then
the
we leave the
location of our
country.
offices,
Yeah.
and then they find out that it was just like
Yeah,
You know,
it's just a
they're like,
fucking-
this is a candy store that those
I
guys
do like
don't
going to
own.
Romania to keep our Down syndrome moving company afloat.
We can't. No, we can't be doing any company with those people there because they're gonna kill them.
just gonna kill.
It's like you've been hiding them from us. We've been wanting to kill these guys for weeks.
I don't know. Would they get down with that? Would they be like, yeah, use them for that, like the fucking mules they are? Would they be like, oh no, we kill those people?
Romanians.
I don't know much about Romania, but I bet they kill people
This
with
is
Down
like
syndrome there.
this is like the
well,
one
they're
thing
like
in the
the
Bible.
Spartans. They're the
No, this is like that one thing in the Bible where they start selling. It was like Paul was like selling, or Saul was like selling the hides of the animals they used for sacrifices
And
outside.
we're gonna sell their
And it was like,
hides.
yeah, it was like extra biblical. Where I was like, is this really okay? Can you be doing this? We want to kill those guys, and that's kind of for God.
and did God say yes?
I don't know. I haven't asked him.
So we're not sure if we're allowed to kill those guys.
Well, no, the Romanians definitely think we should be, but our problem is that we're using them before they kill
Okay,
them.
if you're Romanian and your country is more progressive than I know, I don't know much about Romania. Email us at brownbrickspodcast@gmail.com.
That's brownbrickspodcast@gmail.com.
letting us know how was the average
How
experience of a
fucked up.
Down syndrome person.
Yeah, exactly.
Can they walk the streets without fear?
Yeah.
Because if that's the case, then no dice on
Do you
that.
have candy stores in Romania?
Do you have candy they like?
Yeah. Do you have a lot of
Special Romanian candy?
Did people with Down syndrome like Romanian candy more?
Or is it?
email
I feel
us.
like Romania. I feel like
Probably
Romania
one to know.
can make some.
Gmail.com.
some
Our Tyler
fucked up-
Dunbar interview sounds like a lot more malicious now.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
He's gonna be the chief operator of our moving company.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
He's
We're
gonna be
gonna.
like he's gonna be the foreman.
I'm saying we are going for Downs. He's safe. He doesn't have Down syndrome.
Well, yeah, he's just gonna be the foreman. That's why he's in charge.
yeah,
I'm saying
we kind
let's
of have just
let's
like
focus.
an entire.
Let's focus our scope from disabilities to just Down syndrome,
Yeah, that's
just for
easier.
now, and then we can expand if we need. But yeah, that's my thought. That's my thought on.
Yeah, I
I
like
said,
that.
things they've been
Things are gonna
they've been like
change around
ironically
here.
dark, but we're gonna have to start pretending it's real.
You guys are gonna know we're not serious, but we're actually gonna have to do this.
We're gonna have
Or-
to make some people think we're not fucking around.
Yeah, we're gonna cut all this out and make sure nobody knows.
Oh no, we're gonna keep this in for the real,
real fans.
brick leavers.
Yeah,
Like-
bricklayers.
Oh, okay. All the
Bricklers.
TikToks are gonna be cut.
And then we're gonna
Like,
cut
it's real.
this like a week later.
Yeah.
So then people are gonna be like,
all right. So let's get a clip that'll generate some controversy.
yeah,
on
okay.
TikTok.
Let's start this. I'll put some
All right.
emotional backing in the back of this. Go for it.
All right. Here's what they don't want you to know about people with Down syndrome.
Tell them.
They're not as stupid as they seem.
Yeah,
they're
really?
faking it.
A lot of
Really?
them.
'Cause they seem
a lot of
real
them. I
dumb.
know a couple of them.
They grow up and everyone's acting like, oh, this person needs extra care, right? And like really what that genetic disease does is it makes you more willing to manipulate and more willing to take the
Gaslighting.
easy
Yeah,
road in life, right? And it also makes you talk a little funny. And
Yeah, you look weird, so,
you see
people
all
have
these Down
sympathy
syndrome
for you.
people, and they're like, oh, they're just a little slower in some things. We got to help them out, right? Like, really, these guys are fucking taking advantage of all of us. They're strong, they're just as smart, and they only have like a slight speech impediment, right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't fucking buy it. I'm sorry, right?
No.
Just because you have more chromosomes, you're having all these issues. No fucking way.
Maybe more chromosomes mean you should be doing more work.
Yeah, honestly.
Contributing more, yeah.
I mean,
You literally have more genetic material to work with.
to each their need, from each their ability, and that's not happening right now. That's not how it is.
Something's gonna change.
Something's gotta change.
And it, honestly, just the way we treat people with Down syndrome, I see as ableist personally,
To
right?
people with real issues.
Like people are gonna say we're ableist, right? Because all these SJWs are like, oh, cancel culture.
Canceled. They'll cancel us.
Right, that's just what's in the media nowadays. But like really, it's people with Down syndrome and people who protect them are ableist because other people with disabilities who do need more help, like it makes them look bad.
I would never let a Down syndrome guy drive a car.
or near my children. Really.
People say that Down syndrome guys actually drive better than regular guys, but at least in my experience, that has not been the case.
Yeah, I wouldn't buy that.
Yeah. Good thing. I mean, it is good that most of them don't have their own cars.
Or
I am glad about
like
that.
really even try to acquire a license.
I would not listen.
Okay.
I
think we got the clip.
It's even a bit long.
No, I'm cutting that into like 3 different parts.
Okay. Yeah.
I've got a couple of.
I felt like it was a long, coherent point, though.
No, because we'll cut it at the part where it says something's got to change.
Okay.
And then the next one will roll over into that. We've got.
That one was
I
good.
think I like the touch where I almost forgot, like, oh, you got to throw in SJW cancel culture in there, and then disingenuously use something like ableism when you're being the asshole.
I love the idea of saying, like, they're going to say we're ableist as we try to, like, use Down syndrome people as manual labor.
For some reason, they're going to say we're being
what the
ableist.
fuck
right
are they
now.
talking about? Asshole
For some
liars.
stupid
The
reason.
liars on the
These
left
stupid SJWs
are going to call us.
Can you
out.
put the part where we're revealing the bit here is another part? Because that like, it's funny for us to upload TikToks where we're making a point, but like other people aren't gonna know. Other people are gonna listen.
Wait, what do you mean?
pushing out of our whole plan.
We're going to get doxxed.
This is weak. I need 2 people who actually want to shit on
like
Down
that's
syndrome.
that shit where you do just that will
We
get
do
us
get
taken
doxed.
down.
Oh,
If we're just saying like Down syndrome people are lying and we hate them.
Yeah, I feel like we
With
should get
no
taken
hint
down.
of humor or irony at all.
I think the worst I've ever felt in regards to this podcast.
I've used irony as my safety blanket on this pod. I just had to give it up for a minute. That felt dangerous.
Yeah,
I
Phineas
felt
really felt.
unsafe.
The worst part is that he
You
felt
were
like he was
exposed to the
he was a
demon
little
core.
bit powerful when he started shitting on Down syndrome people. He was like,
It did feel powerful for a minute.
he's
So
like,
bragging.
But then we went back away from like, all right, and then I'm like, what did I just say?
it just came out so naturally. I think the worst I've ever felt on this podcast, uploading that Nostalgia Critic TikTok, it's by far our most successful thing, but so many actual Nostalgia Critic fans are seeing
Yeah.
it.
It's like accusing him
comments
of a
on that
rape.
are funny.
Well, they're like, dude, why are you saying this about him? This like isn't funny. And like the more that I've watched it, just by like looking at the comments, I've just been like, yeah, this is probably
That makes it funnier to me.
No, that one's awesome. I love that one.
And
I love the clip.
it's a good
Accused.
Go watch our YouTube shorts. Go watch our TikTok.
Yeah, go watch our
Watch the
TikTok.
Nostalgia
Boost our
Critic one.
fucking
yeah, the Nostalgia
socials.
Critic one. It needs more people that aren't just being like, you can't say
Like I
this about
say in that
This is
Doug
literally-
Walker has done more rapes than anyone alive or something like that.
you
And they're
do.
like, you can't say that. It's like, bro, that's not.
No, it's
He
obviously
was on
not real.
Epstein's Island. He was in Ghislaine's book.
Yeah,
He was fucking those kids. That's
Yeah.
what you said, I believe.
Yeah.
And I mean, he was.
it's true.
He wasn't not doing that.
It's true, but no one's gonna believe
You're
it. So
not
you don't gotta
supposed
worry
to
about it.
say it, I guess.
Did you guys see the one guy?
Yeah,
on, like-
SJWs are gonna say that we're belittling
Walker.
actual victims of rape by saying that Doug Walker was on Epstein's Island and that he's done more rapes than anyone
Yeah,
in the
but-
world. But like,
I think
really, they're the ones.
They're ignoring the truth.
They're not believing victims.
Yeah, exactly. We're speaking our truth. We'll let you speak yours.
Yeah.
Even if it's wrong.
Believe
Yeah.
podcasters.
Believe all podcasters.
Hashtag believe podcast.
Yeah. If there's one thing that.
Lock Doug up.
Well, there's so much,
Lock Doug up.
hashtag lock Doug up.
Yeah.
Get that trending. I know you guys don't even
Hashtag
email
Doug
us,
is over
but,
party.
but let's get a trending hashtag. That'll be good.
That'll be good for our brand.
Hashtag Doug cocked her instead of Walker.
Doug
Yeah,
Cocker.
that's
cocked
true.
her.
Doug Cocker.
Doug
Yeah.
Doctor.
Hashtag.
Yeah, that flows pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty solid.
That's pretty solid. Did you guys see the one guy on LinkedIn who's crying because he fired all those guys?
No.
There's a post
Fired all
where
the
it's a
guys.
boss of like a startup, and he fired like 100 of his employees, and he's like, people don't realize how hard this can be because they're all part of my family. And he took a picture of himself crying, and it's just like him talking about how awful it is that he had to fire all those people. And it's like he didn't even like link their things that were like, oh, also hire them back. He just said, this sucks for me.
Man,
Yeah.
it feels so bad I had to fire all those people. Well, time to go on with my day.
No,
Can you make a
crying.
LinkedIn page for a podcast?
Oh, I'm sure we could.
Probably.
Well, we could make it like an
I'm
organization.
gonna make an LLC.
We should put up hiring on LinkedIn for Brownrick's podcast.
We got to put up an LLC to front
Yeah, let's
Doug
get-
Walker's
let's get some
eventual
interns.
defamation lawsuit.
Yeah. Oh, I like this. We'll get a couple of interns, but we say hiring, but you have to watch at least 5 episodes before. So it's like one of those scam
You have
things.
to prove
What?
you
Yeah.
know the lore.
It's
of our
an
podcast.
internship, and the internship is you listen to our podcast, and you can put that on your resume.
Yeah, and then you email us at Brownrick's podcast.
Definitely not a paid
gmail.com.
internship. Not paid at all.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's a reverse finance internship. Have you seen
yeah.
those on LinkedIn where you pay them to work for
have.
them?
I've
heard
not
that.
seen
It's a
that.
reverse
Jesus,
finance
what the fuck?
internship. Yeah.
That's worse than slavery.
At least the slaves, got a cool place to live. They could sing like cool songs.
Well, at first they were like, "Oh, we'll gatekeep well-paying jobs for the elite by making good schools just more and more expensive.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
that
yeah,
if you
yeah.
try to get in with loans, you'll ruin your life."
Yeah.
And that wasn't, straightforward.
And then they
enough.
paid
so
for those
now it's
loans
just,
with
you just
my
have
money.
to pay to work for us to get enough experience that you can get a real job.
yeah.
Like we're making it
If mommy and daddy can't pay for you to work for us, you're fucked.
almost comically hard to get into the workforce. Like at a certain point, we're just going to be like, no poor people.
I mean, they literally just don't want poor people to be educated.
I mean,
This is a jump into a very serious stuff.
Yeah.
All of
yeah.
this.
Oh, but the rest of our topics have
mean,
been so
They've been very lighthearted.
squeaky clean and
we-
lighthearted.
Yeah, but we've been joking.
I mean, this is just
Or now
how I
we're
feel.
just being real.
Yeah, now we're just looking at the world
Fuck
as it
that
is.
guy on LinkedIn. I hope his business goes under.
Oh, it probably will.
Yeah.
When I was
that's that
job
guy.
searching, there was a
business owners are the worst.
They
like
really
pretty
are.
awful.
It's like, yeah, man, it's hard. You fail. They're like, I'm a business owner. It's hard. And then they fail, and they're like, this shouldn't be happening. It's like, what?
It's
Yeah,
like
this is like
all
the
of
risks of doing a fake business.
Literally all businesses.
There's I don't know if I can say the name, but I worked as an intern for this one company, and it was basically an Amazon reseller. So what they'd do is they'd talk to companies and say, hey, we'll sell your products on Amazon for you. And they said, oh shit, thanks, that's awesome. So they would just be the only people who'd sell like pool noodles on Amazon, and they would just get like, it would basically go through them.
Yeah.
But like their like mantra was put a dent in the universe. Like they constantly talked about how they were going to
Dent in
like
the
change the way that the world worked. And I was like,
I love that saying because that's just kind of telling. It's like, I don't care what it is. I don't care if I'm doing
It's
good.
gotta be.
I just want the universe to be
I'm taking
different because of me.
I'm taking a chunk out of the universe.
It's just
gonna be
like
like worse.
too, right?
Yeah.
Not like change the universe. Like
Yeah,
fuck
just-
it up, make it a little
and
worse.
hit it until it starts bleeding. But it's definitely one of those things where I'm like, you're an Amazon reseller. That's your entire business model. And for some reason, you've hired a bunch of coders. What the fuck do you think you're going to do to put a dent in the
So ready for the tech bubble to burst.
It's such a weird, like corporate ideology of just like every business has to be doing the most for society, even though they're obviously doing nothing for society. They're just like, we're contributing, we're doing something.
Exactly.
And you should feel that way when you work for us, because otherwise you're going to be very sad.
That's what I love about my current job. They're like, listen, you're not going to like change the world here, but you are going to help these guys out a lot by doing what you're going to do. And these guys will have an easier time building bridges. And I'm like, yeah, actually that can motivate me. It motivates me a lot more than if you're like, we're going to put a dent in the universe. And I'm like, well, what the fuck does that mean? What is that? How are we doing that? And then they're like, yeah,
Some men just want to see the world dent.
yeah. and those men, that guy rode around on a
Joker.
Segway throughout the entire office.
That's crazy.
That really?
Yeah, dead ass.
That's so fucking.
But he also did this thing where he would like basically co-opt people's desks and be like, because I want to work in every single part of the office. I want to be, so like every week he'd change where he worked, but that would just mean that you would like go there and he would be sitting in your desk and you'd have to like move your shit around him and then like move out to another desk. And it was like, this is just so complicated. You're making this so much more complicated than it needs to be.
That's awesome.
And then he also fired half his staff over a Zoom call when I was working there. And he was like, basically just fucking oops is what he said, and he was still on the Segway when he did it.
He was on the Segway on a Zoom call.
No,
He's got to get a Segway with like a screen on it, like a Tesla Segway.
So he can't. So no one can throw tomatoes at him. I just remember when that happened. He was like, he rode up on his Segway, and it was like
so
an
he could
all
do
hands
Zoom calls on. Segway.
Yeah, or there was like a stage that he did the Zoom calls on. So like it was like an all hands meeting. But instead, he would expect everyone to go down to this little auditorium, and then he'd drive up, and then they'd basically just do like stand up, not like actual stand up, but like stand up in the sense that like he just went over what every department was doing and how good they were doing it, and then he left on his Segway. But he drove up on the Segway one day, and he's like, "So, the entire Houston office, we're going to fire all of you guys. And if you're watching this, there's going to be a separate feed that they're currently I'm telling you over like a pre-recorded message that I'm firing all of you." And he had like a bunch of people from Nebraska move out to Houston to like build that Houston office to make their own website that was going to sell. And then like everyone's like, "What the fuck are you doing? You're just going to like implode. Like there's no way that's going to be that profitable." And he's like, "You're right." And so he just pulled the plug and fired like 300 people.
And didn't even bring the Nebraska people he sent back.
No, he was just like, figure it out.
That's
and those people had
evil.
had like mortgages and shit.
Moved for that,
and he
shit.
didn't even give them severance. Like somehow he was able to skirt around the way of like giving them their 2 weeks.
This is still a business?
It's like, it's a scam, but they're going to make a dent in the universe.
Jesus.
That was an interesting summer. It taught me that I really don't want to work for a startup.
No.
Yeah.
But yeah, and LinkedIn taught me that I don't want to work for a boss who cries when they fire people. Have you seen Amazon's mantra breaks that they do to people?
No.
So every 1 hour, because people are like, "You're overworking us," what they do is they say, "Okay, your computer screen will lock every 1 hour and will display a timer so you can't get back into it." And it says, "Mind moment, positive affirmation." And the technique is to repeat these phrases during each expansion of the circle.
What the fuck?
And the phrases are, "Even in chaos, I feel peaceful. I notice the good. While socially distant, I'm emotionally close." And there's a stupid little box robot that's telling you to do all this shit.
Wow.
And there's a little circle.
Corporate art.
Yeah,
That
a little
thing
corporate
is
art.
an alien.
And then
It's
it
like
counts
an alien
down.
robot.
And that's what Amazon's doing right now to combat all of their
Let me see what
people
this looks
fucking sewer sliding.
Oh man,
It's pretty awesome.
And I bet they haven't changed a lot of their quotas and shit.
Well, why
so now
would
you
they?
have less time to get the work done.
So
You have
And
to
if
get
you were
done
like in
before
the
they
middle of
fire
something,
your ass.
yeah, if you were like in the middle of something, or like, I don't know, kind of just busy, and you were like kind of on fire with something, it's probably gonna like fuck up your computer in some way.
I love that we just decided, yeah, you got to grow infinitely, or you're not valuable as a company.
Yeah, like
And
Netflix is like the
and
only,
now we're all gonna die.
it's
it's killed us.
Netflix is like the only profitable streaming service, but they're like losing a shit ton of like stock price just because they're like, "Oh, we're not making."
Yeah, there's nothing
We have
else
no
to
Because
growth.
eventually, right, like most of the people who are gonna get Netflix have got Netflix.
Well, that's their whole thing, is they're like, we have to find a way to like grow from here. And it's like, no, but your business model is just, you have like the max amount of subscribers, and now just like optimally.
Would it be? It wouldn't be. It still wouldn't be awesome. We still have so many problems. But if companies could just be like, "Wow, we're super successful, and
Yeah,
everyone
and that's
uses
all.
us,
No,
and
now-
we're making a lot of money every year."
Well, like the thing is,
And now we'll just keep
And
doing
now-
that.
well, the
and
problem,
that never happened.
There was like this stupid paper written in the 70s that was, because companies before the 70s, their entire motive was like the amount of value that you bring to the customer for like cheap, basically. That's the amount of value your company had. So like being able to produce the most amount of value for the least amount of money, that was like optimal, and companies would like grow based on that. And then this one paper came out that was like, actually, a real company's value is the amount of value they can produce for their shareholders. And that it was like, oh, cool. So now everything just has to like follows the stock market basically. And if you don't produce value for your shareholders, i.e. the stock
with
going
the
up.
incentives in the system, that is accurate, right? Like that is more valuable for them.
Yeah, it
in
is.
the short term to just try to get, like, you know, because stockholders are deciding this shit, right?
Yeah, it's
There's
why
all these laws about like fiduciary duty to like.
Yeah, it's why HBO Max killed like Infinity Train and stuff, because they were like, well, we don't want to pay residuals on these shows for like the next 5 months.
Yeah, that shit was absurd.
And
it's
so they're
just the most
canceling-
insane decision, considering how well praised HBO Max was.
About like its shows and stuff. They
Just about in general, like, yeah, the quality of all
like
of its
animators,
content.
their residuals get paid out into their like healthcare accounts, so they're just not giving them healthcare money right now.
Very cool.
Which is awesome. But yeah, so I think, I don't know, HBO Max, that whole thing was just weird. Especially because it just seems like the guy came in and was like, if I have a more like, if I like slash prices and make this like more efficient, because we have a shit ton of debt right now, the stock will go up by the end of the year.
That's like literally all it
but
is.
the problem is that
I mean, you have all these people who like are CEO or whatever, like CEO, like a lot of those companies have like high turnover in the CEO,
Oh,
except
dude.
for like the big famous ones, like Twitter
yeah.
CEO for a while, but like you have these people come in and they just try to raise the stock price a fuck ton.
yeah, and then they just leave.
And then they exercise their stock options that they're probably getting a CEO, and then
Yeah.
they fucking made their money.
I-
and now they're trying to be on the board somewhere, and they're retiring, and they're like, I'll just be a shareholder.
Well, like it just shows like the
And
incredible.
someone else has to find a way to fucking
Yeah.
ruin this company to get me money.
Well, like the incredible short-sightedness that it shows, because like residuals on animation stuff, I think it said they're saving like $3 million in total over canceling all those shows because they don't have to pay out the residuals to that stuff. And it was like something where the animation residuals that you have to pay them is based on like the amount of time that something's on a streaming service. So after 1 year, you pay them a little less, and after 3 years, you pay them a lot less, and after 12 years, it's basically free to have it on there. But because they canceled it, if they ever say, oh, Infinity Train is popular enough that we should have it, and it would be like attracting customers to have it, they have to pay the first year residuals again. So they're just, it's costing them more money to cancel it now
And
because
then
they were paying the
potentially
third
bring
year.
it back.
Yeah, they were paying the third year residuals on all that stuff.
Yeah.
So it's complicated, but it's just so stupid, and it's complicated in the stupidest way because, yeah, it's like just kind of a very stupid thing to do, and
It's
it'll only get stupider.
Saving a small amount of money to lose, well, to like short-term gain.
Yeah,
like,
it's just to be
I mean,
stock.
short-term gains is
It's short
what
term.
all
You
these
can put
people
it.
fucking-
Yeah.
You can put it on your financial sheet, and then you can
Yeah,
say
your quarterly.
yeah, your quarterly. So as long as the fiscal year they like gained a shit ton of money, or it like helped them out improve their budget in the fiscal year, then it's like yeah. But I canceled my HBO Max subscription over that because I'm like
silly.
fuck you.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit what you do. I don't. I wanted to see Infinity Train on here, and now it's not. And now they stopped producing DVDs for it too, which the residuals are taken out of the DVD
Like-
sales
Like, at all?
at all. Like you can't buy them right now at all.
Weird.
Yeah, you have to buy them from like eBay. It's so bizarre. That entire situation's fucked. But I love corporatocracy.
F, dog. What the F?
yeah.
What the
All right,
F?
let's get back to funny stuff.
Yeah,
the
let's get back
freaking
to haha
F.
funny.
What's
stuff.
funny?
What's haha funny?
What's funny? What's going on?
Let's see.
I got
Oh,
some
there was a
stuff
time.
written down.
There was a guy. I was going through a McDonald's like drive-through, and I stopped, and because there's this homeless guy, and he came out and he's like, "Hey, can you help me out?" And I was like, "What do you need?" And he's like, "A couple of dollars," and I don't have any actual like money on me. I don't have any like
sure.
real bills, and so
Yeah.
I was like, sorry, dude, I don't have that. And he's like, no, I've got Venmo though. And he whips out like an iPhone. And I was like, nah, man, I kind of didn't really want him to like have my Venmo. And also like, that's kind of a red flag if a homeless person's like, here's my Cash App. Like, and so instead I just pulled out about $3 in change, and I grabbed a burger from my McDonald's bag because I got 2 burgers, and I was like, here, dude. And he's like, what the fuck is this? And I was like, it's a burger and about like $3. And he threw it back in my face. And he's like it was like I was insulting him by giving him $3 and a burger. And I was like, I just had a bunch of quarters just thrown about in my car in my face. And I was like, okay, man, bye.
Weird.
Yeah. I don't know. I just thought that was a funny interaction.
That's not nice.
I know what this. I was like, what the fuck is this shit? This is a dream I had. I don't know what the fuck these notes mean. This dream is interesting. We're not gonna talk about it.
Yeah, talking about dreams sounds kind of fucked.
I got a note here.
Yeah, it sounds
normal Asian guy. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Normal Asian guy. That's
Who could that?
now you're
be?
looking at like what my notes used to say, where it's just like rambling, incoherent nonsense. I don't know. What was the normal Asian guy about?
It was a dream I had where I had to go back to school in California for some reason, but I didn't want to live in the dorms. So I got in contact with like a few people online who also were looking for roommates who were like a little older out of college.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I'll live with you guys. And so I moved in with them. But like as we were planning to move in, everyone kept being like, hey, I have one more person who wants to get on this. Can they be room with us too? And eventually we just have dozens of people living us in this one house. And I get there and it's like there's just a strange cast of characters.
It's like a sitcom.
And it's like the most hell layout of a house ever.
That sounds. What was your room look like? Did you get like 5 people in there or what?
It honestly was like a fucking hostel stay. It sucked.
It
was a stressful dream.
Where does the normal Asian guy come in?
He was just one of the guys. Everyone was weird, but then there's just an Asian guy's like, what's up? I'm like, oh, thank God.
One normal guy.
There's one normal guy.
That's hilarious. I don't know. Dreams.
Everyone I kept like talking to him, trying to like get to know him, because I'm like, I guess this is going to be one of my
Yeah, this is
36 roommates.
And he's going to be the coolest one.
So I
probably.
talked to them, and then they just be like, oh, I'm like, fuck.
You didn't want to do that. I do like how you're still like, well, I'm in it for the long haul.
Yeah.
Got to do this. Can't just be like,
I'm like, yeah, I mean, rent's going to be real cheap. There's a lot of us.
it's going to be like $30. That's fucking crazy. You know what I learned?
What'd you learn?
So my sister's boyfriend, he makes playlists for corporations, and I just said,
That's a job.
yeah, like so. If
That's
you
not
hear,
a real job.
so, I don't think it's a real job, but I was pushing back on my sister, and apparently corporations can't like play a Spotify playlist because if they do, they'll get sued.
By the person who owns the playlist?
Yeah,
Or the people who own the music?
or like playlists are like copyrighted somehow, so like
Like a playlist I make?
corporations have to like make their own playlist for all this shit. They can't just be like generic corporate music, put it on play. They have to like make their own corporate.
Well, I know at Jimmy John's, all the Jimmy John's were connected to the same playlist. So if you could be in 2 Jimmy John's at the same time, it'd be playing the same music.
That's like hell.
That's cool.
I'm pretty sure. And I'm sure it's
like a
shit
portal.
like that.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe I'm sure in offices it's fine.
Yeah.
that people like listen to music.
But like at
at a franchise where
Yeah.
people are coming,
yeah.
I would imagine you need certain licensing rights for that.
But that's
Yeah.
some
where
like,
you're serving customers.
Could just play the radio.
that's some like I hate like some corporate things where because that's why like you can't use a free trial of like Maya or without getting sued if you work at a company and you're on a company computer.
yeah.
Because then you're like, because then it's like, well,
You're,
like,
well,
and they
you're,
don't,
you're monetizing
yeah, and they don't
through
go
a corporate
well, even if
framework.
you or I were monetizing it, they
Monetizing by like a single artist kind of
wouldn't- yeah,
thing. is different.
single entities are very different from like corp. But like that's my biggest like. I remember we were talking about like Discord versus Slack, and Slack costs like thousands of dollars a month for each corporation that uses it.
Yeah.
but it's like an enterprise solution, so
Yeah.
they just use it because of that. And
Just
it's like,
because of the business aspect. Of
Yeah.
it. But I mean, I imagine for Discord, if like a company that was actually like any decent size wanted to use Discord,
probably make
they'd
them
probably
pay,
charge or do something with that.
yeah,
Are they not allowed to just use Discord since it's free already?
I think they can. Like,
No,
think
I
you
know,
can
I
just
know,
use
I know
Discord.
companies that do use Discord. I'm talking about like a big corporate entity.
I think a big corporate entity could just use it for free.
Yeah,
they
I
would
think so,
probably
too.
make an enterprise package because the reason they
Yeah.
use Slack is not because
Well,
you
yeah.
have to have a
Yeah.
corporate thing. It's because
You don't want
companies
shit to
are
go
just like,
down.
oh, this is the
this is the enterprise solution.
Yeah.
for
you
our
want it to
problem.
be you want it to be like a little bit more like secure as well for like your specific purposes.
Yeah, for sure.
true. Yeah.
But it's also like Discord's plenty secure.
and not run by furries.
That's the main thing that I just don't.
It
like,
is.
though.
It is just
Like-
because they Discord fucked themselves so bad by being
by
like
being the gamer
nerdy
thing.
gamer.
Even though they
brain
have like the best
Wampus.
technology, it's like, oh, Mr. Wampus, that's our...
Wampus want to wub you in the bed you buy.
Yeah, and then like
Oh, we ain't
every
fucky
CEO
wucky.
when they load it up is like, Rick's making a pickle man, and it's like, that's awesome. Like the CEO is just
gamer,
like, I want, like, basically if Discord didn't have Wampus is loading in whenever it loaded in, it would be the best corporate
I'm pretty
solution
sure.
for all that.
I mean, like a lot of gaming companies or like small time gaming companies use Discord just because,
that
like,
makes sense.
fuck it, why not? Yeah,
Well, yeah, because they're also all gamers.
Yeah.
gaming.
Yeah.
Gamers.
Can we have the title of this episode in Elite Speak?
Elite speak,
Why?
of course,
We've only just started talking about it.
Well, it gets people to go to
this
the
is-
end
this
because
is-
they're like, oh, this is such a good
This
bit.
is a gamer podcast.
Yeah,
now.
this is such a good bit.
What's newest in games?
Okay.
Terraria is still fun.
Hey, shut up, bitch.
Morrowind is still fun.
I actually know about gaming news.
What is newest in
No, okay.
games?
So Embracer Group, the ones who just bought the bunch of the rights.
trans community now has 60% cultural influence
They-
over gamers.
That's true. That is true.
Powerful force.
They're becoming stronger by the
Lord
day.
of the rights to the Lord of the Rings video games and movies have been bought by the Embracer Group.
Is Embracer Group like THQ Nordic?
They own a lot of companies now. They've been going on like a
That's
consolidation
what I was
spree.
saying.
Is that their? Because
Those
I
are
know
the
that like
trans.
Those
THQ
are the
Nordic
trans.
was like buying up a ton of shit.
I don't think it is THQ. They might own THQ Nordic, but
Yeah, I could see that.
It's like just like a consolidation group.
Yeah.
That just has a lot of capital, and they bought the rights to the Lord of the Rings movies though for some reason.
Do people still care about Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, they're making
Yeah.
There's a TV show that's coming out.
It's like-
in
No,
September.
but like, do people still care about it? Like,
Yeah, no.
Are
but
people
for
gonna
sure.
watch this?
People are gonna watch that
People
show.
are crazy. I mean, all
People
all
still
people
care about
all
Harry
people
Potter,
care are about the movies that came out decades ago, and they just want to see people keep making them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. If they could watch Lord of the Rings in the theater every week, they would.
In other gaming news, Destiny is no longer sunsetting all of their expansions. If you care about Destiny, that's like a kind of cool thing.
So
I guess.
nothing's-
That's good.
So for
but
us,
I'm not gonna play
us,
Destiny.
nothing is happening to Destiny. It was going to sunset them, but now it's not.
Well, they had already been doing that, and now they're not.
It was really stupid how they're doing it. It made it. If you wanted to like get into it for the story, which most people don't, to be fair, but if
Yeah.
you wanted to, impossible.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
so now they're changing that policy.
Was it like 5 something?
Yeah. I think we could probably wrap this up.
We don't want to end on something stronger.
Well, what do we got?
We're
Going through video game news.
other gaming news. Let me think.
Yeah, the gaming news isn't. We can't end on gaming news. It's just a slow burn. What's something we could riff off of gaming news? What's funny gaming news?
Gaming news, more
What's
like
funny gaming news?
gaming, gamers, gaming,
I don't know.
like homosexual.
Hideo Kojima's new podcast launches where he's going to talk about how he designed the character of Big Boss to actually be a homosexual man.
Sakurai has a new.
Oh yeah, Sakurai's got his podcast as well, or whatever.
It's just a
his YouTube
channel.
series.
Everything is just a podcast now. All YouTube, honestly, like
Jima, Sakurai, if you're listening, you're just getting to the podcast game now. If you need someone to show you the
fucking
ropes,
late.
oh, you know
need
what's
someone
actually
to show you how to do a pod. We're ready to help
You know what's
out.
remarkably funny though? I've got a bunch of friends who are like really into podcasts, and they bought like they'll buy like the most
pretty
expensive
funny.
mics, they'll buy like the most expensive audio interfaces, and then they'll be like, I'm going to set up a podcast, and then they just never do it. I'm like, do you not know how easy it is to do a podcast?
Well, it's because they get all this shit and they raise the standards for doing it too high.
and then they just do one, and
Yeah.
they're like, oh fuck, I'm bad at this.
Yeah, I think that's what helped with us. We just kind of jumped
Okay.
into it.
Here's a
Okay.
bit. So you know how that some colleges have started offering majors in podcasting.
Yeah.
No,
Part of this.
that's so stupid.
Let's get in on that money. Let's create our own
Do
podcast.
Become professors.
Podcasting
Podcast professors.
301.
Let's run a podcast university out of this house.
We're doing a 301 level course.
Yeah,
we're
of
not.
course.
We're not.
We're not.
101.
We're not fucking around. We're talking about the deep
We're doing a high
intricacies.
level podcast.
Well, no, we're gonna have to do 101 too because we're like
Where all
start
the
to
professors.
finish.
You're full on university.
We're not being professors. We are our own
This is-
private university for
Brown-
You're
podcasts.
showing
Brown-
people off. You're doing like a campus tour, and you're like, and here's the quad, and it's just your backyard.
Brown Bricks Podcast University.
And
And
here's
we'll have certificates. It'll be awesome. Be like, have you tried being racist? Have you tried saying?
You guys are going to need to work on your bits. For
Yeah,
this next
Yeah,
There-
it's like
there's
all right,
not
you really
enough
got to
pedophile.
decide what sort of podcaster you want to be. You
yeah,
could
there's not enough
be
pedophile bits in
a
here, big
racist
guy.
podcaster. You
True
can
crime.
you can be true crime.
You could be a girl.
Yeah, true crime fucking sucks. Never
Don't
do that.
do true crime.
Never-
I want to
even
recommend.
though,
I
even though
would not
don't do
recommend the
that.
true crime route.
they're the most popular podcast
Everyone-
for no good reason. They're
Yeah.
all wrong.
Yeah, really. I mean, really, in the current climate, racist podcaster is the way
It's
to go.
the way. It's kind of the wave. Not only is it growing the fastest, but
All
it's
right,
probably,
guys. I want all of you guys to riff real quick. So someone goes like, what if
Riff with like,
What if,
like 20 people.
Crazy Frog showed up at your door delivering a pizza? I'm like, that's okay.
Okay.
That's fine.
That's
We're
not
like
bad.
writing down
And-
scores.
And
He's
but
naked.
what if he said the N word?
And he's got his dick out.
This guy's dick out and he's fucking a kid.
Yeah, and the one kid raised it like, what if he says the N word? I'm like, good.
Oh, that's
Good,
right.
good.
He's-
All right.
And then everyone's like, teacher's fucking pet.
This guy.
I want to
knows
hear
what he's
something
talking
I
about.
haven't heard before. What if Crazy Frog said the N word? See, there you
That's
go.
good. That's good.
Okay.
We're talking-
How about let's try another character? Okay. What if Elmo says the end?
Elmo's a little bit overdone.
Okay.
It's like,
Let's
all right,
improve on
this.
Yes,
it's
and.
not bad. It's not bad, but we just had Crazy Frog saying it. What if Elmo said a different slur?
What if he said?
What if Elmo was having sex with a child?
It's one of those two.
All right, I'm gonna
It's
need
just-
you
it's
guys
binary.
to go home and work on which
I'm
of
gonna
these.
need
things.
you guys to go home and think
Think
of
of a
like
character.
think of like 10 ideas like that, and then they bring it to us and we're like, thanks. We go to the back room, we start making a podcast. I'm like, oh, these are great.
This guy said, "Fucking Trogdor the Burninator."
We don't show them the numbers, so they're just like, these guys are the third most popular podcast in the world.
Yeah,
Damn,
I
crowdsourcing our bits.
and they're
Even
like,
when
we
they
have
get
to
out-
keep which podcast we're part of anonymous.
even when
We
they
have
get
to do
out,
that for
even when they
legal
get out of
reasons.
school, they're just gonna be like, yeah, I've got to make like 8 things that we can riff on, as opposed to our notes that are just nonsense.
Yeah, and we just use their shit for our podcast.
that'd be
We
good.
make them like work. Yeah, and then they're
And
paying,
they're paying
us.
us tuition.
Yeah,
It's a win-win.
Yeah,
this is a real reverse finance
All right,
internship.
So if you guys want to join,
yeah. If you guys want
email
to
us at Brown
Brown
Bricks
Bricks
Enroll at
Podcast.
University.
Brown Bricks
E-
Podcast University.
.edu.
The
Brown
most,
Bricks
the most
Podcast
amount of fun
at
you can have while
gmail.com.
attending a university.
At gmail.edu.
All right, thank you,
All
everybody.
right,
Thanks for
thanks.
listening.
Bye. Bye.